Truly I tell you, unless you change and become like little children, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven. Matthew 18:3. These words from Christ are not a sentimental ideal. They are a radical command, a blueprint for salvation. But what does it mean to become like a child? Not childish, not naive, but childlike, spontaneous, trusting, joyful. In a world obsessed with maturity, performance and control, Christ points to the child and says, "There, that is the way in." This is the sacred art of play, not as escape, but as return, a return to joy, to freedom, to God. The Gospels are full of reversals. The last will be the first, the meek will inherit the earth, the sinner is called friend. And again, Jesus tells us to become like children. Children are spontaneous, dependent, quick to forgive, but most of all, they play. In play, a stick becomes a sword, a living room becomes a kingdom, the floor becomes lava, the world becomes enchanted again. This isn't immaturity, it's vision, the ability to see God as intended, through imagination, trust and wonder. As G.K. Chesterton wrote, "The true object of all human life is play. Earth is a task garden, heaven is a playground." Theologian Hans Urs von Balthasar once said, "Seriousness is not a virtue." Scripture echoes this truth. In Proverbs, wisdom is not portrayed as a grim scholar or a stern judge, but as a child alive with delight. "I was beside him, like a master workman, and I was daily his delight, rejoicing before him always." Proverbs 8:30. Even God plays. Creation itself was not an act of necessity, but of joy, love overflowing into form. To play then is not a distraction from what matters, it is a reflection of the Creator's own freedom, delighting for no other reason than delight itself. To play is to declare, life is more than productivity, I am more than what I achieve. Carl Jung believed that in every adult, the child we once were remains alive, what he called the divine child, a symbol of innocence, renewal, and untapped potential. The creative mind plays with the objects it loves. Jung. Yet many of us exile this inner child. We hide behind the mask, the persona of the serious adult, the achiever, the one who must be taken seriously. In doing so, we trade joy for control. We lose our flexibility, our openness, our ability to heal. In Jungian terms, to play is to integrate the shadow, to bring the light into the hidden places. In Christian terms, it is to become whole. To cut ourselves off from play is to cut ourselves off from grace. Few embodied this better than Saint Philip Neri, the Apostle of Joy. In the heart of 16th century Rome, a city weighed down by pride, politics and pomp, he chose the path of the holy fool. He wore absurd clothes, shaved half his beard, made jokes in the middle of sermons, not to mock the faith, but to mock the ego, because Philip understood something vital. Joy is subversive, and laughter is disarming. The devil, heavy with pride, cannot laugh. A joyful heart is more easily made perfect than a downcast one. Philip Neri. Philip wasn't naive. He prayed through the night, he served the poor, he knew sorrow deeply, but he refused to become rigid. Like Chesterton said, angels can fly because they take themselves lightly. Philip laughed for the glory of God. In our world, play is often dismissed as something we should outgrow, but in truth, it's something we must grow back into. The Desert Fathers warned against spiritual gravity, a heaviness of soul that forgets grace, becomes brittle, and loses the ability to laugh. To play is to admit our limits, to delight in the now, to say with our bodies, I trust that all shall be well. Jesus said, do not worry about tomorrow, each day has enough trouble of its own. Matthew 6:34. To play is to say, I trust. To laugh is to say, I believe. To become like a child is to say, I am safe in my Father's hands. J.R.R. Tolkien, in Defending Fantasy, wrote, "Fantasy is escapist, and that is its glory. To imagine, to enter into wonder, is not to flee reality, but to recover it." Tolkien called this recovery, the restoration of clear sight. Through story and play, the ordinary becomes extraordinary again. The dew on the grass, the smile of a friend, the miracle of a new day. Chesterton echoed this. We are perishing for want of wonder, not for want of wonders. Play helps us remember, not just who we were, but who we are, and whose we are. The world is full of sorrow, but joy is not ignorance. Joy is rebellion. To laugh in a broken world is not denial, it is defiance. In Jungian terms, play reconnects us to the self, the wholeness we were meant to live from. In Christian terms, it opens us up to the Spirit, who moves like the wind, unbound and free. Saint Philip Neri was once asked how to become a saint. He replied, "Be humble and laugh." At the end of Winnie the Pooh, Christopher Robin must leave the 100-acre wood. He's going to school, growing up, leaving behind the enchanted world of play, friendship and simplicity. Pooh asks, "Will you come back?" And Christopher Robin replies, "Yes, but we, the audience, we feel the ache. Maybe he won't. Many of us never did. We traded the forest for fluorescent lights, the sword for the spreadsheet, the wonder for worry." The Christian path is not to stay forever in the safety of the garden, but to leave it. To walk the long road through the wilderness, and then, somehow, to find our way home again. It is to pass through the fire of experience and emerge not hardened but tender, not emptied of wonder but overflowing with it. And when that journey is over, when the last hill has been climbed, we will see the forest again and remember that we never truly left. Wherever they go and whatever happens to them on the way, in that enchanted place on the top of the forest, a little boy and his bear will always be playing.